2025 is nearly here, but let's take a moment to look back at the biggest local stories of the year.
From elections to hurricanes, Central Georgians experienced a lot this year.
In January, after weeks of investigation, deputies arrested a 16-year-old in the death of Matt Brown. In November 2023, 50-year-old Brown was found shot to death near the entrance of his Lock Chappie Landing neighborhood in Macon. People there called Brown a beloved friend and neighbor, always looking out for them.
What he was trying to do was trying to chase people away from looking into cars and trying to see what they could steal, and he was trying to help protect, and that was Matt through and through.
Then in July of this year, after months of searching, investigators picked up a second suspect in Brown's murder. Brown's wife was honored for her work with victim support after losing her husband.
In February, 22-year-old Laken Riley was murdered on the University of Georgia's campus after she went out for a run.
The investigation suggests that they had no relationship. He did not know her at all. I think this was a crime of opportunity.
An intense search brought in Jose Ibarra, an illegal immigrant with a history of arrests in the U.S. Riley's murder became a flashpoint on immigration debates during this election year. In November, a bench trial ended with Ibarra found guilty and sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Also in February, some good news. Macon's Daybreak Homeless Day Center held its annual Sleep Out fundraiser, and it was another record-breaking year. More than 100 people popped their tents in the cold in solidarity with Macon's unhoused population. They raised almost $327,000.
In March, the long-awaited Atrium Health Amphitheater opened, hosting Leonard Skinnard and ZZ Top for its opening show March 24th.
I think it's great. The atmosphere is great, and I think me as well as everyone else is hoping it really kind of revives the area.
The first few shows topped 6,000 in ticket sales, and in October, big-time country star and Macon native Jason Aldean played in front of a packed house.
April brought severe weather, including an EF0 tornado that touched down in Warner Robins.
The rain and the thunder and lightning, and she said, "Mom, the sirens went off and a tornado's been spotted."
Trees brought down power lines and business signs, but most of the damage was minor. Crisp County also had a confirmed EF0 tornado during the same storm system.
We took the 13WMAZ listening lab out in March and April ahead of the May elections to hear from you about the issues that matter most. We collected more than 600 surveys. Most takers were from Bibb and Houston counties.
Rent is really high, and I'm only 22, so, it's kind of hard for like a young family, young parents to find somewhere affordable to stay.
The top three issues: violent crime, inflation, and ethics in government.
That was the big story in May. Local elections. Some were primary races, some were nonpartisan. Macon-Bibb's mayoral race was one to watch, with Mayor Lester Miller warding off challenger Shakita Maxwell. Maxwell faced several legal battles, including arrests and lawsuits she filed against others. Several sheriff's races were decided in the primaries. Bibb County Sheriff David Davis held off several challengers. Washington County Sheriff Joel Cochran kept his job. Telfair County Sheriff Sim Davidson beat former Sheriff Chris Steverson.
The Republican primary for Houston County Sheriff was decided with Matt Moulton getting more than 50% of the vote. He had the support of retiring Sheriff Cullen Talton. Many races went to runoffs because no candidate received a 50% majority. And the stage was set for the November general election. Overall, Georgia elections officials said the voting process statewide went smoothly.
I'm here at the scene of a major fire in downtown Macon.
Early on Sunday, May 5th, Macon-Bibb firefighters responded to a call of several historic homes on fire on Walnut Street. The fire started in one home and quickly spread to the others. People inside were able to get out safely, but just in time.
Grabbed my cats. I put one in the car and went inside to go grab the other while they were moving my car. And by that time, the house was so much on fire, they made me get out because they said it was too hot. And by the time I was running out the house, I had to jump through flames, and it just hurt so much.
Investigators arrested Derek Bell at the scene where he was yelling about setting the fire and being combative with deputies. He's still in the Bibb County Jail, charged with public drunkenness, obstruction, and multiple criminal damage to property charges. 3 homes were a total loss, and 3 more had fire and water damage.
Late in May, there was also a suspicious death of a homeless man in downtown Macon. Ken Knight was found in an alley behind a wedding venue off Poplar Street. Details from the scene suggested Knight was asleep when he was attacked by someone who hit him in the head with a large object.
Homeless people are an easy target for just about anybody's aggression. So it made me think that somebody's possibly targeting homeless people.
Bibb investigators had surveillance footage of the person they thought was responsible, but could not locate him. It turns out he was in Tennessee and originally from Gainesville, Florida. After months of searching, in December, they arrested 39-year-old Adam Rosenthal. He confessed to killing Knight in Macon and another man in Tennessee.
In mid-June, we learned of a missing man from Lawrence County. 82-year-old Garland Warren's family said he had dementia and may be confused. Warren, who lived in Rents, was last seen June 10th in Crawford County asking for directions. And that's where the first search began.
All these people have volunteered to come and help. It means a lot. We're just scared to death for him.
There was no trace of him there, but his truck showed up in Spalding County the next week, and a couple was charged with stealing it. Days later, Warren's Chihuahua was found in the area where the truck had originally been left in Butts County.
It was searched by air, by helicopter. It was searched by drone. It was searched by ATV, four-wheeler, side-by-sides.
An intense search of the area recovered Warren's body about 100 miles from his home in Rents.
No justice, no peace.
I just don't want my child to become another cold case.
In July, the family of Macon teen Gabriella Dixon received confirmation of their worst fears. After 9 months of pushing for an arrest in her disappearance, Gabby Dixon's family was still holding out hope. But July 24th, a work crew found remains at a construction site off Highway 87 in Monroe County. Those remains were later confirmed to be the mother of 2. That same day, murder charges were filed against the father of Dixon's children, Reginald Harris, and conspiracy to commit murder was filed against his cousin, Jatarvius Price. Both men were already charged in connection to Dixon's case, but not her death.
And we just, seeking justice. Justice for our daughter. And that's basically what we're for.
We're still waiting to hear a trial date for Harris.
Usually, school starts back in August, but this year, students in 3 central Georgia counties, Macon, Peach, and Houston, went back in late July. Other counties were back in the classroom in the month of August.
In early September, breaking news from North Georgia, where a 14-year-old student killed 2 teachers and 2 students at his high school. Details emerged that at least 9 other people were hurt during the shootings. It took place at Appalachia High School in Winder.
My heart hurts for these kids. My heart hurts for our community. But I want to make it very clear that hate will not prevail in this county.
Over the next few days, details about the shooter were revealed, including that he had been on the FBI's radar in 2023. The teen and his father were charged in the case. Colin Gray bought the automatic rifle used in the shooting and gave it to his son Colt, even though the teen had expressed a preoccupation with school shooters. The child's maternal grandfather lives in Fitzgerald. Our Maggie Fitzgerald interviewed him off camera.
I understand that Colt did it, and he needs to pay the ultimate price. I understand that, and I don't disagree with that. But his dad is as guilty as Colt is.
Following the shooting, there were a string of school violence threats at Central Georgia schools, some of which landed students in trouble. None of our schools saw any issues with violence.
It's looking like we were going to drag a Category 2 to a 1 and then to a tropical storm. We're already at a 1 with winds down to 90 miles an hour.
Chief Meteorologist Ben Jones was very clear Hurricane Helene had the potential to devastate Central Georgia. He was right. The entire state was severely impacted by Helene beginning September 27th. It was a Category 2 storm as it moved across our area, and the hardest hit counties were Johnson, Lawrence, Wheeler, Washington, Trutland, and Telfair. 3 of those counties saw lives lost.
The mobile home was scattered all over this large field. There was 2 DOAs that we found. At one time we thought there might be some kids, but they found out later they were not at the home.
In Wheeler County, 2 people died when the trailer they were in was thrown across the road. For survivors, with no cell service and downed trees everywhere, trying to make sure family members were okay was nearly impossible.
His phone actually caught service for like 2 seconds a while ago, and my niece called.
So you just found that out, like minutes ago?
Yes.
And what did your niece say?
That the tree just fell through her house and it hit her in the back.
Did they say she was hurt? She's
They
okay?
didn't. He lost service.
In Sandersville, a tree came down on a house, killing a 4-year-old boy and a 7-year-old girl. It took first responders hours to get into the house because the tree was so huge. In the small town, family and neighbors were devastated, including Washington County Sheriff Joel Cochran.
It's a family that I'm very well acquainted with, and it was a very sad and emotional moment for myself. And you know, when you know the people that's involved, it kind of tugs on your heart a lot harder.
Downed trees killed 2 people in Lawrence County in separate accidents. One tree caused a traffic accident that killed a Kentucky man. The other happened in Dublin. 58-year-old Doug Brownlee died when a tree hit his house.
I'm very sad for him. It's just a hard time now with everybody losing stuff, you know, but he can't be replaced. But the good Lord in heaven has him. So he's in a better place.
In all, 30 people were killed in Georgia during Hurricane Helene. Then came the aftermath. Days after the storm, hundreds of thousands of people were without power. Students in many counties could not go to school because of the outages. Crews worked to clear roads. River levels continued to rise from the massive rainfall, and Central Georgians came together to help each other and those impacted by Helene in the Carolinas.
This is not about just one church. It is about the church, and everybody has shown up and really been a great support.
In Lawrence County, Dublin schools fed hundreds of students while school was out, and private pilots used their planes to fly supplies to areas that were hard to reach. Every town saw organizations working to help others affected by Helene. Recovery has continued in the hardest hit communities weeks after the storm.
Hopefully it's a makeover. They have pretty good chicken.
After closing for maintenance early in the year, almost all of Central Georgia's Popeyes chicken locations closed for good. After months of speculation and people complaining about the lack of chicken sandwiches, in October we learned it was a massive business deal gone wrong.
They have a good chicken though. I don't know why they closed it, so.
To date, the 2 companies involved in the deal still haven't worked anything out in federal court, and more than a dozen locations from Forsyth to Dublin remain closed.
Another big business announcement involved the travel center chain Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's company reached out to Monroe County. I think they've been looking at the site for almost a year, but they reached out to the county government a couple months ago and expressed their interest in it.
As soon as the popular chain confirmed the news they were pursuing a location off the Rumble Road exit off I-75, protests began. Some folks in Monroe County were skeptical and started a petition against the store.
People are going to get off the interstate at Buc-ee's on Rumble Road and eat and shop and not come back up the 2 more exits to get off in Forsyth and get off in the square.
County commissioners eventually gave their approval in December. There is no set timeline for when construction will begin.
November brought the long-anticipated general election, including races for president, state representatives, and many local Central Georgia offices. Members of Congress representing Central Georgia largely kept their positions. Those include 2nd District Representative Sanford Bishop and 8th District Representative Austin Scott. Mike Collins and Rick Allen retained their post in Districts 10 and 12. Several incumbent state representatives had no November challengers, and all incumbents kept their seats. Central Georgia had 1 vacated seat from James Beverly in District 143, and thanks to redistricting, 2 brand new seats to fill, Districts 145 and 149. The District 145 race brought a Macon teacher and a Forsyth businessman head-to-head, but Tangi Herring beat Noah Harbuck by less than 300 votes. Longtime Baldwin County politician Ken Vance and Floyd Griffin battled for the new District 149 seat, with Griffin securing the seat by less than 200 votes.
County races for sheriff, school board, city council, coroner, and county commission were also decided. Notable among those, after more than 5 decades as Houston County Sheriff, Cullen Talton announced his retirement in late 2023. He passed away at the age of 92 in October. Lieutenant Matt Moulton will now lead the Houston County Sheriff's Office.
They took a chance on me, and they did, and they showed up big at the polls, and here we are tonight. So I look forward to serving the citizens of Houston County for the next 4 years and hopefully a lot longer after that.
Peach, Macon, and Taylor counties also have brand new law enforcement leaders. All other sheriffs kept their jobs.
Central Georgians also voted for Donald Trump as president. His campaign made a stop in Macon, where supporters rallied at Atrium Health Amphitheater just 48 hours before Election Day. Statewide, Trump received 50.73% of the vote, defeating Kamala Harris.
Later in the month, a nearly decade-old murder case finally came to a close. The family of Bud and June Runyon say they're relieved to know their killer will spend his life in prison. A last-minute plea from Jay Towns led to a double life sentence for each count of malice murder. The case started in January of 2015 when the Runyons traveled to Telfair County after seeing a Craigslist ad for a classic car. Towns was there waiting. He robbed and then killed the Runyons. Judge Sarah Wall told the courtroom the murder case took almost 10 years because of a faulty indictment, the pandemic, new evidence, and other legal delays.
The same week, 13WMAZ and the Middle Georgia Community Food Bank joined forces again to help fight food insecurity in Central Georgia. Our annual Stuff the Truck campaign kicked off 3 days of collecting non-perishable food items at area Walmart stores. Community groups and businesses organized collections and brought those donations in. Schools and church groups from across Central Georgia did the same. This year, we collected more than 56,000 pounds of food. We raised more than $10,000 through your monetary donations. In total, that's 132,000 meals. Thank you for helping us stuff the truck.
And thank you for watching as we recount Central Georgia's top stories. We already know one of the top stories of 2025 will happen on day one, when downtown Macon's skyline will be forever changed.
Whether you know this building as the Hilton, the Radisson, the Crown Plaza, or the Ramada, it will come down on New Year's Day, and we'll be there to cover it for you. Thank you for watching. We hope you have safe and happy holidays and a very happy New Year, too.